So we're supposed to talk about having trouble finding a person to date or something? Trouble with that? I don't know. I forget how it was outlined exactly, but yeah, trouble finding that. And I'm assuming because of the channel, there's a specific reason as to why we're supposed to be having trouble or talking about having trouble finding people to date. Yeah, I don't really buy that. It's not because I'm one of those like positive people who's all like, oh, everyone has someone for someone. No, there's some people there's no one for. Like, let's get real here. But no, but like, you know what I mean? I don't think it's bullshit because I'm one of those like overly positive, like, oh yes, you will find your soulmate one day. People who is just like, oh, it shouldn't matter. It's because like, come on, like, who's getting me a date, like, regardless of whatever. Like, I had trouble finding people to date me before, and like, I was good looking. I was sort of good looking, but like, if it wasn't one thing, it would be another, and that's kind of my view on this, is like, you know, there were plenty of things that were unappealing about me before I decided to do this, and regardless of whether I was, you know, better looking at that time, because let's face it, I was a very cute lesbian or whatever. And now I'm just kind of some, you know, short, average, not even average, I don't know, just some short, dweeby, skinny fat, pretty chunky in some ways, I don't know, just an awkward guy, and that's the way the one thing translated into the other, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but basically I'm just saying that, like, even though for my situation I was conventionally attractive prior to like going through all of this, I still had trouble finding people to date me, and you know, I had all kinds of excuses then, such as, you know, for a lot of that time I wasn't in school and I was working like a minimum wage job, so that would be my excuse. I lived with my grandma. That was another excuse. I'm basically just saying that, like, you're always gonna find a reason to pick on yourself for why someone doesn't want to date you, regardless of what you're doing or who you are. Like, before transitioning, like, I had all kinds of reasons as to why people didn't want to date me, and now that I have, that's my big reason. Like, when I think that, like, oh, why don't people like me, or, you know, I'm in a relationship, but it's like, it's one of those ones where, you know, she just doesn't really like me that much. I don't know how else to explain it. She's just not, you know, the specialness about me that, you know, I'll give her credit. I don't even understand when or why she thought it was there in the first place, but whatever, like, thing that made her want to, you know, attach herself to me for some long period of time has since left, or diminished, or whatever. I don't know. I've just, you know, the candy has been taken off of the chocolate bar, and the chocolate bar isn't what, you know, you were expecting. Maybe there's some like fruit and nuts in it, like, I don't know. I don't even remember where I was going. I'm sorry. I'm on like fucking like sinus medication right now, and I feel like I'm dying. I literally feel like I'm dying. I don't know, like, that's my whole reason why, oh, that's why she doesn't really like me that much anymore, which it could be, who knows, but it could also be the fact that I'm just an annoying person. I'm an annoying human being, like, I'm just difficult to deal with, but it's always going to come back down to that reason. That's always what I'm going to think it has to do with. It's an insecurity, and I just think that I think it depends more on your attitude about things. I've always been a defeatist type of person who's pretty negative and is like, oh, well, no one wants to date me because of this or whatever, and it's stuff that could be overcome because people in the past have overcome it. But because of my attitude, you know, maybe that's what's not attractive to people, the fact that I'm so convinced that no one likes me that, you know, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, whereas, like, you know, there's those really optimistic people who I admire yet kind of hate secretly at the same time, who are all like, oh, I'll find someone and like they'll look past all of my flaws and whatever. I sound so bitter. Those people. And they always do seem to like end up finding someone at some point in time, like what might not be immediately, but they do end up like being happy. And maybe it's just their attitude, and it's not always about the fact that you're trans. Sometimes it's just, how you deal with the situation. You basically just have to play the cards you've been dealt, and, if you have a bad attitude while playing, then sometimes shitty stuff happens, and sometimes you do have a good attitude and shitty stuff happens. I don't really know. I don't really know where to go with this, but yeah.